Dashashwamedha Ghat.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
If there is an epicenter in Varanasi, then it is the Dashashwamedha Ghat. This ghat is the oldest, busiest, and the most popular among all the ghats in Varanasi.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
This ghat paves the way to the Kashi Vishwanath Shiva temple. Pilgrims take water from the Ganges at this ghat to offer to the Shivalingam at the temple.
So this is the world famous Dashashwamedh Ghat, and you see these platforms behind me. This is where the evening Aartis are taken. This and here, daytime you have all these priests and people offering their hair and all of that. Religious ceremonies take place, and in the evening there is this huge Aarti. That's a huge feature. I'm hoping to be in one of those boats down there and see the Aarti. It's not very cheap to hire one of those boats, but I'm hoping to get one of them. Let's see. But otherwise, this is where all the action is. Among all the ghats, this is the famous ghat, and it is believed that many centuries ago, Brahma, the creator, did a Yagna of 10 Ashwamedha Yagnas. Someday we'll try and understand what that is. But it's a kind of a ritual, a huge fire sacrifice, a fire ritual that was done. And to complete one, it takes many years, and he did 10 of those to invoke the Shiva energy in this place. And then and that cleansed the place, and then Shiva began to reside here. So the energy, that's why here is extremely powerful energy. So we'll get a taste of that today in the evening Aarti, and you will notice all of these pujaris and pandits who are sitting here. They all do prayers on your behalf to Mother Ganges, to God Shiva, and all of that. So a lot of religion is mixed with these practices. One of my favorite reads is one part of the Bible where, and I first saw it in Jesus of Nazareth. There was a TV serial, I guess, and which became a movie. It's a really long one. Anyway, the point was where Jesus comes to the temple and he starts pushing down all the hawkers and all the shopkeepers and all of that, and pushing like breaking all the shops, and he says, "Don't convert my father's place into a marketplace." I guess history repeats itself, right? When you think of Dashashwamedha Ghat, where Brahma performed the 10 Ashwamedha sacrifices, Yagnas, cleansed the atmosphere, allowed Shiva's energy to come in, and Shiva settles down. You would expect, hang on 1 second. You would expect the place to be filled with ashrams, meditative spots, people doing yagnas, pujas, deeply engaged in spirituality. But what do you find around this place? Shops, places to eat, places to shop, hawkers, vendors, everyone behind you trying to get some money out of you. Somebody wants to massage your palm, somebody wants to send your ancestors, set them to liberation, somebody wants to do this, that. You just can't take 5 steps without somebody chasing you and asking for money. And of course there are beggars. The point here is, how do you make sense of all this? How do you make, if a place is so spiritual, then why all this confusion? My point is, that's exactly how it's always been, how it will be. Power centers across the world, right at the epicenter, below the candle, right below the candle, there is always a shadow. The darkest part of the shadow is right below the candle. So you, at the very epicenter of these power spots, you will find people in complete shadow. I'm not talking people as a judgment thing, but generally as you see the energy, it's all about food, what to eat, what to wear, Banaras saris and this and that. It's just noise and chaos is created. It is, to me, a way of filtering out people. It's a natural distraction. In the olden days, it was either floods or it was wild animals, a fear that kept people away. Now that fear is gone. That fear of survival is gone. So now what keeps people away is temptation. So you come here, you have one darshan and you say, oh gosh, I don't want to go through that crowd again. But what do? I have to spend 2 days, so you get to eat and you get to do all of this. And so you get distracted from the very purpose of why you came here. I think that is that shows that this place is so powerful. That shows Jerusalem is so powerful because there is so much chaos around that place. These are all powerful portals of energy. I mean, Jesus is not a fiction of somebody's made up fiction. Even if it was, that energy would not have gathered that momentum. So it is with Muhammad or Shiva. These places have so much energy. That's why they draw in all kinds. And at the very epicenter, you will find distraction, chaos. And it is only because of your spiritual practice that will help you see through this, rise above this, and be in the storm and yet experience the calmness, the eye of the storm, experience that energy that is beyond all this. And come out saying, this place is so beautiful. Not come out saying this place is chaotic or dirty or so. So these powerful portals of energy have to be understood in the context of intense spirituality. All desires are satisfied, right? The vendors come here, their business is flourishing. There are multi-millionaires with little shops because they get so many people visiting that their business is flourished. So the business mind is happy and they find their fulfillment in the center. Then you have sick people who come and bathe and they go through the alternate healing and their faith heals them. Not all of them, but some of them. And they find their happiness and satisfaction and peace. The seeker comes here and he seeks his gurus, his teachers. There are so many ashrams. So he finds his learning taking place here. Oh, there's a beautiful shivling here. Beautiful. So, as the Gita says, the Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu, and the Jnani, all of them come to me and all of them will find fulfillment. So who are we to come here and judge this should not be so and that should not be so? So the guy seeking wealth comes here, opens a business, opens a shop, he finds fulfillment. The guy seeking to serve the people through alternative health, he opens a shop, a clinic, people come here, get healed, they find fulfillment. Seekers come and find their gurus here, they find their ashrams here, they find fulfillment. And the jnani, the self-realized, also come here to enjoy the energy, to bathe in this energy. This place is got that energy. You just have to come here to bathe in that energy. And that's it. That's the beauty of this place. Just bathe in that energy of Shiva. There's nothing to ask, nothing to give. It just fills your heart with so much joy. It's unbelievable. So you come here just to bathe in that energy, be joyous, reminding yourself. It's like coming to the mirror. Who doesn't like looking into the mirror, right? So here it's like you're admiring your higher self in the mirror of Shiva. You look at yourself, inner self, and say, oh my gosh, how much respect the self is drawing in, how much energy this higher self is drawing just by being, right? So when we go back to that state of being, you become one with Shiva, and then you set out to give. You don't ask, you don't receive, whom are you going to ask? What are you going to ask? Everything stems from you, from your consciousness. The atmosphere is so alive, full of energy here. A lot of these boat rides take off from here down, and the other side of this, close by, is the other ghat, the Manikarnika Ghat, where it's considered where the cremation is done, and then the ash from that body is offered to the Shiva, because he applies ash all over his body. So it actually comes from a dead body. In other words, in this place you celebrate death. You don't mourn when somebody dies, because you know that his ashes are going to adorn the highest consciousness. So such is a beautiful theory, powerful theory behind such a place. And this is the place that has lasted for centuries. All the other ghats and everything else came as history developed, right? In the last 1,000 years, 2,000 years, different kings and queens, and in the last 500, 600 years, a lot of princely states came and built took their positions in down the river. But this is where this ghat, this is the main ghat that has stood for centuries. This is the place that is mentioned in the Vedas, in the Vedanta, in the Upanishads, in the Puranas. This is the place that finds itself in the heart of Sanatana Dharma. This where I stand is the place where I believe Sanatana Dharma was born, and then it spread all across, and people went to the Himalayas to understand more depths of it, and then the whole of India's country, the whole of India and the whole of this subcontinent became a powerful treasure house of wisdom, of being able to understand what is next in our stage in evolution. Evolution is not because of technology. Evolution comes when our understanding and our comprehension of who we are begins to become more and more wider, correct? So that is the door that opened. I believe it opened here. I believe the path lies in Sanatana Dharma. I believe, and it's not one particular religion, it's an eternal, timeless, boundaryless way of life, which is open to everyone. Just because it is written in a language that is known to a few, it doesn't mean it belongs to a few. Sanatana Dharma has the solution to what we are looking for in the next stage in our evolution. That is oneness, interconnectedness, and then ultimately oneness. Om Namah Shivaya. It's heart full of gratitude and gratefulness, and with great deal of humility I stand here and proudly again at the same time be part of such something so very wonderful. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
संजय वहाँ पे गैप है देखो. I'm trying to get as close as possible.
The evening Aarti at the Dashashwamedha Ghat is a sight to behold. The ceremony consists of elaborate offerings of lights, incense and Vedic chants offered to the holy river Ganga, to the fire god Agni, the sun god Surya, and of course Shiva, the almighty consciousness. Every evening is a mega festival of rituals, singing and chanting, attended by thousands of pilgrims every single day. The Dashashwamedha Ghat is truly a testimony to the sacred universal teachings of Sanatana Dharma.
Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje